All right. I do want to roast a couple people. Like Shorty that's like right behind Barron Trump's shoulder. If you just go through some footage and you see her in her entirety, that's funny as hell. Then Melania, I don't got nothing bad to say about Melania. I don't got nothing bad to say about her. Except for yeah, we just gonna chill.
Thank you very much.
Oh, you know what else I want to talk about? Hold on, let me bring it up. The lack of facial hair on men and the fact that that needs to be changed. Like not just because I have a beard or whatever, but like also because like there's already a stigma attached to having hair. Like to be the president, you have to be clean shaven and all of this stuff. Like why? Why is it wrong if I want to like go with a certain look? Why do I have to have a certain look to be able to be considered for the president? Like we have to address that at some point because that seems like part of the reason why Kamala didn't win. Let's just keep it real.
Thank you very much. That is why each day under our administration of American patriots, we will be working to meet every crisis with dignity and power and strength. We will move with purpose and speed to bring back hope, prosperity, safety, and peace for citizens of every race, religion, color, and creed. For American citizens, January 20th, 2025 is Liberation Day.
Now look, I'm an American citizen. I don't feel like he was talking to me. But if he was talking to me and my family and the people that I love, then that sounds fine. I can't say anything about that. It's just the fact that I need to also feel like he's talking to me and people like me in order for me to respect it. We're going to keep going though.
It is my hope that our recent presidential election will be remembered as the greatest and most consequential election in the history of our country. As our victory showed, the entire nation is rapidly unifying behind our agenda with dramatic increases in support from virtually every element of our society, young and old, men and women, African Americans, Hispanic Americans, Asian Americans, urban, suburban, rural, and very importantly, we had a powerful win in all 7 swing states.
Wait. I'm not like, I don't like that. I don't like when he just starts naming, like, he partitions people off like that. Let me run it back.
Agenda with dramatic increases in support from virtually every element of our society, young and old, men and women, African Americans, Hispanic Americans, Asian Americans, urban, suburban, rural.
Yeah, like, there's too many. First of all, this is America. There's too many people to name. That's first off. But secondly, though, like, it's just tacky. Like, can we just acknowledge that this president is tacky? And it just doesn't, like, the things that he says doesn't come off the right way. It's crazy to me.
And very importantly, we had a powerful win in all 7 swing states. And the popular vote, we won by millions of people.
I hate this so much. You know why? Because I do research on stuff, right? When he says he won the when he says he won the electoral college, right? That's that's significant. We can't act like that didn't happen or anything, right? But we can't let him say certain things that mislead people. You know what? I take that back. We have to be more educated so that he can't mislead us. You know what? Let me let me talk to y'all real quick. Listen to what he says.
People, Americans and old,
Hold
men
on.
and women, African Americans, Hispanic Americans, Asian Americans, urban, suburban, rural, and very importantly, we had a powerful win in all 7 swing states. And the popular vote, we won by millions of people.
All right. This is the stuff that annoys me. And I really just came to a revelation just now. Of course, there's no edit, so you're gonna hear it, you're gonna see it. What happens with Donald Trump is that he lies so much, right? But sometimes he just doesn't lie. Sometimes he says the exact truth, but it's misleading. It's not a lie, but it's misleading. He won the Electoral College by a lot. We can't deny that. It was bad, right? But also when he says he won the popular vote by millions, what do you think of when he says by millions? Do you think 1 or 2 million? Do you think 3 or 4 million? Because the popular vote, let's see. So that's Michigan. So we're not going to do that. So, okay. In 2004, President Trump won the national popular vote by approximately 1.7%, which equates to about 2.5 million people. So when he says he won the election, the popular vote by millions, you're not thinking that it's less than 3 million. You're not thinking that. You're thinking that he bodied it and he ran off with the election because the electoral college was so crazy. So he's misleading you, but he's not lying to you. But that's just as bad because you can't mislead your significant other about where you were. You can't say one thing and it sounds true, but then you went somewhere else. You can't say, "Oh yeah, I was at the bar with my homies." But then after the bar with your homies, you went to go see somebody else. You can't mislead like that. That wasn't an exact example either, but you just can't mislead like that. It's just tacky.
To the Black and Hispanic communities, I want to thank you for the tremendous outpouring of love and trust that you have shown me with your vote. We set records, and I will not forget it. I've heard your voice.
What was the record? What was the record? Did Donald Trump? I'm gonna get back. What was the record that he set with African Americans? I'm not here for everything else. I'm just asking for African Americans. What was the record that Donald Trump set?
Voices in the campaign, and I look forward to working with you in the years to come. Today is Martin Luther King Day, and his honor, this will be a great honor, but in his honor, we will strive together to make his dream a reality. We will make his dream come true. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. When he said he broke records, right? There's no indication of that. The only thing that it says is in 2024 U.S. presidential election, Donald Trump achieved notable gains among African American voters. According to AP Votecast, 16% of black voters supported Trump, doubling his share from 8% in 2020. But it doesn't say anywhere where he broke a record. Unless he's talking about his own record, which is not a lie, but it's very misleading. Like, he gotta chill. He gotta relax.
National unity is now returning to America, and confidence and pride is soaring like never before. In everything we do, my administration will be inspired by a strong pursuit of excellence and unrelenting success. We will not forget our country. We will not forget our Constitution. And we will not forget our God. Can't do that.
All right, I'm back with just a little revision because he broke his own record from going from 8% to 16%, right? From 2020 to 2024. But also, this is the highest level of support a Republican candidate has received from black voters in nearly half a century. So he also broke that record technically, but like what? It's just misleading, bro. It's just misleading.
Today, I will sign a series of historic executive orders. With these actions, we will begin the complete restoration of America and the revolution of common sense. It's all about common sense. First, I will declare a national emergency at our southern border.
I feel like he should have done that last time. Like, if that was his main thing, build a wall. If build a wall was your main thing, then how come you didn't declare? This is what I'm saying. That's just what I'm saying. I'm gonna let him clap though. He clapped way too long for that.
All illegal entry will immediately be halted, and we will begin the process of returning millions and millions of criminal aliens back to the places from which they came. We will.
He didn't just say, I'm gonna return all immigrants to where they return. He said criminal immigrants. So it sounds like he's only gonna send back the criminal ones. But you can't just find the criminal ones. So what he actually just said is that they're all criminals. Like he just keeps on hitting people with blanket phrases that are just so disrespectful and tacky at least. That's the least you can acknowledge is that what this dude is doing is just tacky. We're gonna keep going though.
Will reinstate my remain in Mexico policy. I will end the practice of catch and release. And I will send troops to the southern.
Also, the Remain in Mexico policy is actually known as the Migrant Protection Protocol, the MPP. So if you're like these things be having different names, so you have to learn what's going on. This is why I'm bored of education because there's no blueprint for this stuff. You just have to like be bored with the educational process and just entertain yourself and find things that are interesting to learn about because he said I'm going to go back to my Remain in Mexico policy. That's not the name of it. It's just a nickname for a policy. Just like people think there's an Asian hate bill. There's no such thing. Yeah, it's like a nickname or whatever. So like this Remain in Mexico policy, I'm gonna read it right here. So it's known as the Migrant Protection Protocol (MPP) was a U.S. immigration policy implemented in 2019 under Trump administration. It requires certain asylum seekers. Now, see, it requires certain asylum seekers, primarily from Central America, to stay in Mexico while their immigration cases were processed in the United States. All right, so like, yeah, oh god, so who did it apply to? Why primarily Central America? This is why people bring race into it because when you say primarily Central Americans, that's singling people out because it was definitely people coming from Asia and Europe and all of that stuff, and they're in here. I was doing a job about a year ago, and some like Russian dude came up to me and asked me for work. And I'm like, why is he asking me for work? And I had to realize, like, yo, the immigrants that are here are not just from South America. That's what they're pumping. So that's what you think, but that's not the situation.
Border to repel the disastrous invasion of our country.
Repel is a wild word.
Under the orders I signed today, we will also be designating the cartels as foreign terrorist organizations.
I respect that. I don't know why no one else ever thought or said to do that. I respect that move. We don't have cartel activity, at least that I'm aware of, in New York City. But I understand that it's a real situation on the West Coast, um, and in Central America and stuff like that, closer towards the border. So I understand that. So I don't know why no one else ever thought to make the cartels like consider them terrorist organizations. I respect that, and I could rock with that.
And by invoking the Alien Enemies Act of 1798, I will direct our government to use the full and immense power of federal and state law enforcement to eliminate the presence of all foreign gangs and criminal networks, bringing devastating crime to U.S. soil, including our cities and inner cities.
All right, before they start clapping, right? That sounds amazing, but that is not something that could happen. So check this out, right? So I looked it up because I didn't know what the Alien Enemies Act of 1798 is, and I don't know if Donald Trump even knows what it is. I'm sure someone on his team just found something that said, "Yo, maybe we could use this." And what's going to happen is if you don't educate yourself and if you're not paying attention to this stuff, they will be able to use it. Now, I really don't mind that they use it because I don't really I think that the country would be it'll be easier to implement policy with American citizens because it's a mess right now. So if the migrant population was not here, it would be easier to do certain things. I will say that. But this act, it seems like he can't use it legally. And this is why those confirmation hearings were important because when he was talking to when someone was grilling Pete Hegseth and asking, "Will you follow a illegal order if Donald Trump tells you?" He said he wouldn't do that. This act basically explains that he will be giving an illegal order, but you got to be paying attention to it. So, the Alien Enemies Act of 1798 is a federal law, and such it supersedes state and local law under under the supremacy clause. Now, what was the question that I asked initially though? Because I went further than I initially. All right, so the act itself. Okay, let me just get. I'm gonna let you know why I was ahead of myself because I'm reading my notes on my phone. So I asked what the Alien Enemies Act was, and then I said, well, will he be able to do anything because the state officials have jurisdiction, but they don't. Federal always supersedes it. So I had to ask that question, which is something I should have known, but whatever. I looked it up because I wanted to make sure, and that's what everybody should be doing. So the Alien Enemies Act of 1798 is still part of U.S. law. It's codified under blah, 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 blah. It grants the president the authority to detain and deport non citizen nationals of foreign countries during times of war or invasion. Now, is it an invasion? Is it a war? how do you categorize, like, we know what a war is, but is an invasion because you call it an invasion? Or is there like is there a legal term for the invasion that they're doing? So that's what we have to figure out before we just say it can happen, because it's not war. So you can't just do what you want to do, and it's not an invasion unless legally you can prove that it's an invasion. And it doesn't seem like an invasion. It seems like they've been making it an invasion.
As Commander-in-Chief, I have no higher responsibility than to defend our country from threats and invasions, and that is exactly what I am going to do. We will do it at a level that nobody's ever seen before. Next, I will direct all members of my cabinet to marshal the vast powers at their disposal to defeat what was record inflation and rapidly bring down costs and prices. The inflation crisis was caused by massive overspending and escalating energy prices, and that is why today I will also declare a national energy emergency. We will drill, baby, drill. America will be a manufacturer.
So yeah, I went and I looked and I said, are the people coming through the southern border part of an invasion according to US law? I don't know. Is it? So I had to look, right? Under US law, whether the situation at the southern border constitutes an invasion depends on how the term is interpreted. And that's what I said initially, right? I was like, is it an invasion, or are they trying to make an invasion based on what they're saying? So, number one, the U.S. Constitution, Article 1, Section 10, Clause 3, the clause states that that states cannot engage in war unless actually invaded or they're in imminent danger. So this is not a war, and these people are not coming in causing danger unless you've been saying that they've been causing danger for the last 8 years. And that's actually what's been happening. So it's all, he's making his own reality, which is sort of scary, because if you make your own reality and you say that they're invading, if you make your own reality and you say my community is dangerous, if you create your own reality and you say that these people bring over a virus, if you make your own reality and you say certain things, then certain things get implemented, and that's very dangerous. So also, let's see, immigration law and enforcement, according to the immigration law and enforcement, U.S. immigration law does not define unauthorized migration as an invasion. So, I mean, that's the answer right there. U.S. immigration law does not define unauthorized migration as an invasion. That's the answer. You can't use the Alien Invasion Act, the Alien Enemy Act of 1798, because it's not an invasion. But man's been creating his own reality for the last 8 years, and now it's gonna be an invasion. And he's gonna treat these people like they're not people. And that's what people don't like. You know what? You know what? I think we should just end it there. Because I don't even know if I could watch any more of this again. Oh man, yo. He really be like really draining me. I'm gonna move on to the pastor because I need some like levity. I need to make fun of homie because he was wilding. So we're gonna talk about the pastor from Detroit. I'll be right back.